So when I say that Legends should be continued, imagine that I'm also saying other than the Old Republic. It's not completely accurate to say the Legends timeline is finished, or that nothing more is being added to it, since the EU was declared non-canon back in 2014. Following that, the last few EU projects were either released, flat out cancelled, or quickly wrapped up over the next couple months. The Old Republic is the one exception. It is the only Legends content that is still being worked on to this day. The MMORPG still has new chapters, updates, cinematic trailers, and even the occasional short story on their main website. This has caused a little bit of confusion because everything after April 25th, 2014 was supposed to be part of Disney's new unified canon, right? But new expansions of this game are still coming out. How can this be? They must be tied into the new movie, surely. We can't have this officially licensed Star Wars Legends content be continued as if it were a separate, independent universe not connected to the new canon in any way, right? Well, it is. Pablo Hidalgo from the Lucasfilm story group, basically the group who is in charge of the continuity of Star Wars as well as what is or is not canon, has confirmed that the Old Republic is a continuation of Legends. He has stated that BioWare has created their universe that is so fantastic, and they're not going to change it. Leland Shee, who is also on the story group, said there are members of the group involved with the Old Republic, such as himself. So as a side note to anybody who says new Legends books or comics are impossible, and have no chance of ever being produced again, here is clear evidence of Lucasfilm working hard on both the new canon and Legends. Obviously with the new canon, they want to put a lot of the focus on what is currently being developed with the sequel trilogy, because that's the big thing right now. But when the Star Wars hype eventually peters out, and I think it will after a while, with a new movie every year, you could oversaturate the market, and the public will start to get a little Star Wars fatigued. A publisher at Marvel, for example, might think, hey, what if we try like a comic mini-series in the Legends universe, just to mix things up a little bit. Even Pablo Hidalgo said the factors for not continuing Legends will not always be there, so there's still a lot of hope. Anyway, sorry for going off on that little tangent. Back to the Old Republic. Why, of all Legends content, is the Old Republic the only one that is still being produced? Well, it's pretty simple. It's an MMO, so it's going to be continuously updated for years and years. And it's based on subscriber service and has an in-game market for things like armor and vehicles. I'm no financial expert, but if the Old Republic was doing nothing but losing EA and BioWare a ton of money, they'd probably want to kill it as quickly as possible. But no, they're keeping it around, and they keep adding more story content, which is probably really expensive. I know this game gets its fair share of criticism. Just go on any post on their social media page, they get blasted quite a lot. A lot of people saying the quality of the game has gone down, or getting upset when the cartel market is being pimped out a little bit too much. But I don't think all the backlash is warranted, and I really have to give a lot of credit to community manager Eric Musco and creative director Charles Boyd. They have a really close relationship with their fans, and always seem really friendly and cool. They meet fans at Old Republic meetups, they give developer blogs to let people know what's going on, and they really just seem to listen to people's feedback, and use that to help them improve the game. It's a good lesson for other social media outlets in how to treat the fans, and that's an aspect of Star Wars that I think is actually being run quite well. While the Old Republic has its fair share of people that dislike the game, I know there's also a lot of people out there who absolutely love it, and some who might have been subscribers since the very beginning. I'm not really into MMOs. I probably wouldn't have even played this one if it wasn't Star Wars related, so I dip in and out of being a subscriber, mostly when new content comes out, is when I get back into it. But every time I play it, I have a good time, and enjoy all the work put into it. I recommend it to anyone, especially if you're an EU fan, at least just to try it out. There's a free-to-play option, so you don't have to drop money on the game right away, though becoming a subscriber will give you access to more content. There's a lot there for people to enjoy, which sadly, I believe by Lucasfilm not devoting as much time and effort into promoting the Old Republic is leading to a lot of missed opportunities. Though some may argue that the popularity of the Old Republic has gone down since it was first announced, back in 2015, the Old Republic actually grew to its highest subscriber count in nearly 3 years because of the Knights of the Fallen Empire expansion. I'm very grateful that us Legends fans at least have our story continued through the MMO, but how awesome would it have been to all the Old Republic fans, the new subscribers coming in, and the fans of the EU, if they would have released tie-in books and comics to go along with the new expansion. Back in the day, the Old Republic had 4 full-length adult novel tie-ins that all made the New York Times bestseller list. Pretty much all the new canon content has several tie-in novels and comics to go with each big new release, and this would work the same way. They could have told the story of what happened in the 5-year gap, but before the Knights of the Fallen Empire expansion began. Put it in a novel and promote the heck out of it, and not only would you make the new expansion even more popular, you would also keep the Legends continuity going in print form, which would be great for all the reasons I went over in my last video. Furthermore, you would expose several new people to the Old Republic era. Look at the views of the Knights of the Fallen Empire trailer, now at over 12 million. People are hungry for the Old Republic era, because right now, Legends is exploring a different era than what the new canon wants to focus on. There's even a petition on change.org asking for an Old Republic series, which 230,000 people have signed. And if you go to the comments on the trailer, these people are saying that this one trailer should be a movie, or that it's better than the new canon movies. These are the people that would want a tie-in novel to the Old Republic, probably more than they want an Episode 9. Anyway, speaking of tie-ins and trailers, there's been an announcement of an update to the Old Republic that has been confirmed. Update 6.0, which would be the next big expansion for the game. I'm guessing it'll also have a really nice trailer that everyone will fall in love with. So to go along with that, I recommend to Disney, Lucasfilm, EA, BioWare, Del Rey, Marvel, whoever else, act on this. When this expansion trailer drops, announce a novel and comic tie-in to bring it all the people and all the resubscribers like me. Show that the Old Republic really matters, and that the Legends timeline matters. And the Star Wars fans will pay you for it. Because the fans of the Old Republic are still here, and we are waiting.